So if you're a contractor or handyman, or if you're a consumer looking to hire somebody to do work on your house, be aware that handyman is a category of worker that many times you see advertised on Craigslist or Facebook, or even a sign on a bulletin board somewhere that'll work on your house. The question is, what's the difference between a handyman and a contractor? A lot of times it has to do with what kind of work they're doing. Does it require to be licensed? Is it in certain categories like plumbing, electrical, or even some framing has to be done by a licensed contractor? But regardless of whether or not you hire a contractor or not, or you are a contractor, be aware that workers' comp is an important thing for you to be aware of. If you hire a handyman that comes work on your house, and if they get hurt on your property, you may have some serious insurance problems, because your homeowner's insurance might not cover it because they were technically an employee. And you might say, well, I'm not an employee, I'm not setting up payroll. But many states have rules about what qualifies as an employee. Again, we're not attorneys, we're not giving you legal advice, but you want to know what you're getting into if you're hiring a handyman. If you are a handyman, you also might want to have insurance, because some of the jobs you work on might require you to have proof of insurance, proof of coverage. And it's good to have it anyways, because if you do get hurt, you have some coverage. And you can represent that to your client. Clients may not know this, and they may be calling 5 people out of the phone book or out of Craigslist getting quotes to fix their deck, right? And if your quote is going to be $900 and everybody else's quote is $400, you might think, well, they're just going to go with the cheaper bid. But if you tell them that you have work comp coverage and they're not going to be liable if you get hurt, look, to save $400 or $500, nobody wants to be on the hook for $50,000 in injury claims. Somebody gets hurt, or they swing a hammer and hit themselves in the head, or cut their finger off with a saw, or whatever it is. You want to be the one that shows you have professionalism and coverage. But it's not the easiest thing to get. The market for insurance is a tough market. Not all people have an easy time obtaining this coverage. This is from an insurance journal. Due to the varied duties of handyman, carriers may shy away from writing work comp for this class of business, especially if they're a new venture, right? As an agent, do you avoid writing work comp for handyman? So this is from the agent standpoint, the insurance agent standpoint. It's exhausting to go through that process. Unlike automobile or homeowners insurance, this type of coverage is not easy for the insurance agent to write and for the client to get. Look, you see ads on TV all the time from Progressive, the Lizard, all the insurance companies. They're begging to do insurance. Handyman insurance is very difficult. In fact, some states you have to go to what's called an assigned risk pool because no companies want to write it. It's only the government backup plan that does it. Oftentimes, as a handyman, you're required to show coverage before you have start a new job. And if you can't get that policy, how are you going to get the job to begin with? There are options for this. If you are a handyman or a smaller contractor, get with a good insurer to see what options you have. Start the process early because it might be a complicated process. It might not just be as simple as over the phone reading some information. If you're a client, a consumer looking to hire a handyman, ask them what they have for insurance. General liability, work comp, because you want to know what liability you have possibly for somebody working on your property if they get hurt. If you're a larger contractor, make sure, of course, all your employees do have work comp so that you're covered there. Be aware that this insurance is more than just a piece of paper. It keeps everybody from having potential financial burdens and problems down the road.